Welcome to Global News on Signature Television. I'm Charles Pius. In the headlines, House of Reps to investigate assault charges against colleagues even after his apology. ENUGU State government flags off construction of 44.8-kilometer roads in the state. Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities says the federal government is yet to respond to its ongoing strike. And the House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee on Tuesday opened an investigation into alleged abandoned Gindangwaya Guarand Dutse woman Rafi Saminaka Kano Road project in Kaduna State worth 1.4
capital, enhance human development. And that is essentially what paved roads do for us. Beyond the seamless movement of people and goods. So where you're
of the dualization of the 41-kilometer Abapa-Nike, Ugogo-Nike, Ekwebe-Upinsuka Road and the 3.6-kilometer Nike Lake Penox Junction, Noah's T Junction Road. Governor Ba, while flagging off the project, said it will reduce travel time from ENUGU to Nsukka to about 30 minutes and help boost economic activities in the state. Signature TV correspondent Kinechine Mermike Budam reports.
The dualization of Ababa-Nike to Nsukka Road, which cuts across Ekwebe and OP, is one of the campaign promises of Governor Peter Mba to help boost economic activities in the state. Mba said that the dualization of the road and the Penox to T Junction will enhance road safety, reduce travel time, and improve connectivity.
What we're trying to do here today is not just symbolic. It's not just the symbolism of doing a wide road. Come here. I had asked my team, how long was it going to take to get there? They said 40 minutes. So we left exactly 20 minutes past 3 because we had scheduled to be here at 4. But as you can see, we got here an hour later. We were about to. We're committed to delivering this project, the best practice, international best practices. We are committed to deliver this project on schedule. We are committed to deliver this project in quality standard. We are committed to deliver this project and make our people happy. Our transport from here to ENUGU, they find it very difficult because of the bad road. But if the road is being done, we both the poor and the rich are going to enjoy it. So we are happy that it's happening now, and we are happy that Dr. is taking the bull by the horn to get it done.
The downside of the project is the frustration and agony expressed by those whose properties and businesses may be demolished along the corridor. The state government has assured that the road will be completed within 18 months, with street lights and regular patrol by security agencies. Chinemerem Ikebunam, Signature TV News.
Senate approves reforms to Kebbi and Nasarawa states for airport projects. Security agencies to protect persons working to restore electricity in northern Nigeria. And House of Representatives refers members to Ethics and Privileges Committee over treatments meted out to a commercial driver. Details and more from the National Assembly.
The Nigerian Senate has approved the request by President the amount they spent in executing airport projects for the federal government. This followed the submission of a report of the Committee on Local and Foreign Debt on the promissory note program for the newly constructed airport project. Tinubu had asked the upper legislative chamber to approve 15 billion naira for Kebbi State and 9 billion naira for Nasarawa State in May 2024. Chairman of the committee, Manu Haruna, senator representing Taraba Central, presented the report on behalf of the committee. There was no objection when the Deputy Senate President, Jibrin Barau, who presided over the day's proceedings, put it to a voice vote.
Also, the sum of 9 billion, 542 million
apology to his colleagues, the Uber driver, the Inspector General of Police, and Nigerians over his behavior.
I deeply regret my words and actions that occurred at the heat of the moment, and I take full responsibility for how this exchange has impacted on the citizen, Mr. Abutseya, his family, and the entire public. Since the incident, Citizen Abutsaya and I have engaged in alternative dispute resolution methods, and I am pleased to inform this Honorable House that we have reached a respectful and constructive resolution.
In his ruling, the Deputy Speaker, who presided, acknowledged the apology but referred the matter to the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges for further legislative action.
Relevant provisions of our rule and has made a prayer that the matter be sent to Ethics and
Institutions Act, BOFIA 2020, to make provisions for the protection of victims of fraudulent withdrawal from accounts and for related matters has scaled second reading. Sponsor of the bill, Moses of the bill, is to stop illegal funds transactions where monies are moved from the top banks from covering up such syndicate without reporting such action to the receiving bank and the police for necessary actions.
There is an alarming rise of bank fraud or unauthorized withdrawal of deposit funds in Nigeria. In the banking industry, about 248,703 cases reported in 2023. Very more of it were never reported.
Following the House adoption of the bill, the presiding officer and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu referred it to the Committee on Banking Regulations. The Banking and Other Financial Institutions Act, BOFIA, was last amended and
As stories surrounding the brutal murder of ENUGU musician Okeze Mba, popularly known as Ibocha, continue to unfold, the state government paid a condolence visit to the family of the deceased while calling for thorough investigation on the incident. Chinemere Mikebunam was there and now reports.
As a renowned singer and drummer, Okeze's music career had gained widespread recognition, transcending Enugu State and resonating deeply with Igbo communities nationwide. His unique style, which incorporated storytelling, singing, and chanting in the Igbo dialect, accompanied by the local ogene drum, had captivated fans across the social media and beyond. In response to his tragic demise, Enugu State Governor Peter Mba dispatched a delegation led by the Secretary.
We see what is going on outside.
Other notable figures, including the member representing Enugu North and South in the House of Representatives, Chimaobi Atu, visited the family of the deceased to offer support. Atu pledged to train Okeze's children up to the university level.
They should carry the investigation thoroughly to know the reason why that police officer should shoot an innocent Nigerian citizen. It's uncalled for. And I'm asking the youth to be calm.
Nigerian women in various professions converged on Shehu Yaradua Center, Abuja, to forge a common front to amplify the role of women in leadership, business, and politics. The event was christened the Abuja Women in Business and Politics Summit 2024, another in the series of such gatherings recently to give a deafening voice to women as builders of the society. Senior TV correspondent Francis Nolly reports.
The Abuja Women in Business and Politics Summit 2024 called for all women to hold each other accountable and remind them of their strength in numbers, and once united, can build nations. Guest speaker Honorable Gineka Tor Ijeoma spoke about promoting national unity through equitable representation in her treatise on the roles of women in leadership. She said women should not wait to be included in functions.
Will be here for how long will you continue to be? That's why when they invite me, I don't decide to carry black hat to go and say I'm fair. I say I'm not to carry black hat. Black hat for what? You carry this thing, you are giving this friend holiday, they'll sit in the house and whine over you. Why don't you start affirming yourself? When you see where I don't have it right, it's not my fault. Why don't you help me to get it right? How many women mentees, you are sure. God bless you.
We wanted the PDP, our party, to give the vice chairman not where the present acting chairman is now. We wanted it to be a woman. And there was a well-established, quite well-known, respectable woman who got upon and presented herself for that post. And a lot of them were backing and pushing. But when the vote was cast,
when you begin to look at the data, you will weep because Nigeria is nowhere in the global conversation. In the last elections, you had House of Assembly, 990 seats. We have only 48 women in the entire country. 990 seats. You come to the House of Representatives where you have 360 seats. We have only 16 women. You come to the Senate where you have 109 seats. We have only 4 women. And I had to charge the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as you begin to amend the Constitution, let us look at the gender policy. If we can get it right, then perhaps in 2027, our percentage will increase.
Power is not served a la carte. You take it because if you need it, you will take it by force. Because nobody is coming to give it to you and send it to you. And if we believe that financial capacity
Orca amidst protests. Anambra State government positions the youth to play on the global stage. These and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Global News with Charles. The Governing Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, has appointed Professor Bernard Ifeanyi Odo as the 7th substantive Vice-Chancellor of the university. Professor Odo, a specialist in geophysics, is from the Department of Applied Geophysics within the Faculty of Physical Sciences at the university, and the first alumnus of UNIZIK to serve as Vice-Chancellor of the university. That Professor Odo was elected from 18 applicants based on his experience in university teaching, research, and administration, stating that the appointment aligns with the provisions of Section 4 of the first schedule of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Establishment Act. In his acceptance speech, Professor Odo expressed gratitude to the Governing Council and the Vice-Chancellor selection team for entrusting him with the significant role. The 5th of August 1975, Odo hails from Eza North local government area of Ebonyi State and has served as secretary to the state government of Ebonyi State. He has over 120 research publications in reputable international journals, e-books, and monographs to his credit. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, staged a peaceful protest against the appointment, accusing the chairman of the university's governing council, Greg Mbadiwe, of imposition. Chairman of ASU UNIZIK chapter, Professor Kingsley Uboji, led the group, carrying placards with various inscriptions. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria of Nnamdi Azikiwe University chapter stated that the appointment was in violation of
such as crime and restiveness. However, some youth are said to be working hard to reverse the trend and check the slide in the exchange rate of the naira. Chinwe Okoli said the Anambra State government has trained over 25,000 youths to equip them to compete on the global scene. Some of them, she said, have secured international job opportunities, paying them as much as $5,000.
We don't want a situation whereby somebody just registers on the program and don't show up. So those who are committed and who show excellence get more than incentives. Even in the Code Anambra program that they're going to graduate 4 months, then plus internship, plus mentorship session for another 2 months. This program costs from $3.54 million, $5,000 elsewhere, verifiable within Nigeria. But Mr. Governor offers this program to the Anambra at no cost. And this is like putting 4 million naira in the pot of people. So what this means is people who participate in this program are not meant to remain the same if they pay attention to this program. And I'm happy to inform you that many of them are not remaining the same. A lot of them have got jobs, some are still getting jobs, and even now we have a very strong partnership that is placing a lot of them on the job that's going to take them for 1 year. We are going to announce that separately.
She said the state government is committed to changing the fortunes of the youths in Anambra State and further grow the economy of the state. Ndu Abaleze, Signature TV News.
The Imo State Police Command reported a significant operational success in the fight against crime in the state. According to a release signed by the command spokesperson Henry Okoye, operators from their command's counter-terrorism units repelled an attack by suspected IPOB ESN terrorists during a routine patrol along the Owerri-Aba Road near Owerri Airport. He added that the attackers, numbering about 10 and traveling in 2 vehicles, launched a violent assault, but were effectively countered by the unit, demonstrating notable bravery. Okoye asserted that in the ensuing gun battle, one suspect was neutralized while the others fled with gunshot injuries, abandoning their Operation 101 GR, as no casualties or injuries were recorded among the operatives. The State Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, had urged the public, especially medical practitioners, to report any individual seen with or seeking treatments for gunshot injuries to the nearest police station, as the command remains committed to ensuring the safety of all citizens and will continue to address any threats to public peace in the state. The Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, on Wednesday undertook a campaign tour of the wards in Aba South local government area to unveil its councillorship candidate for the November 2nd local government elections. The party drove round the 12 wards in the commercial town, sharing campaign flyers and handbills, soliciting for massive support and votes from the electorate. The party chairmanship candidate for the LGA, Mr. Omezie Kanu, appealed to the electorate to vote for ZLP. Anyanwu hailed the party faithful and residents for trooping out to show solidarity with the party and love to Governor Alex Oti for providing good governance to them, assuring ZLP victory in the state. Meanwhile, the Senate at plenary has passed a bill to strengthen the capacity of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, to safeguard depositors' funds and strengthen financial institutions in the country. This followed adoption of reports of Senate's Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the bill titled Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023. The bill was sponsored by Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, APC Lagos, and all the members of the committee. According to Abiru, while presenting the report, stated that the bill would make the NDIC more effective, safeguard its independence, autonomy, and bring it in line with the current realities and best practices. He added that the bill consolidates the power of the President to appoint the chairman and members of the board of the NDIC, while the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, which hitherto recommends the appointees, would now concentrate on supervising the corporation. He, however, assured that the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Amendment Bill 2024 is a critical piece of legislation aimed at strengthening the Nigerian financial system, as the proposed amendment will enhance the NDIC's capacity to safeguard depositors, ensure the stability of the financial institutions, and promote trust in the banking system. Meanwhile, the Joint Action Committee on the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities has stated that there has been no official communication from the government regarding its ongoing strike. The GAC of SAAN, SANU, and NASU commenced an indefinite strike over 4 months of withheld salaries, effectively halting university activities nationwide. The National Vice President 4 months withheld salaries, improved remuneration, earned allowances, and implementation of the 2009 agreement with the government. The FCT chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association called on the federal government to ensure universal applicability remuneration for Nigeria's doctors to reduce JAPA syndrome and promote global competitive spirits in the profession. The chairman, Dr. Emeka Ayogo, made the call during the opening ceremony of the Chapter 2024 Physics The Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs also stated that the restriction should not only be placed on doctors working under government, but also be extended to private hospitals. Still to come, early voters in Georgia say they trust the process with 1 week until its U.S. elections. Typhoon Trami pummels China's Hainan province, forcing mass evacuations. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. You're watching Global News. Voters in Georgia's Gwinnett County says on Tuesday that they trusted the election process amidst record turnout at this stage in early voting in the key swing state. After Republican presidential candidate Donald
the people in the United States.
Trump still that he lost in 2020, accepting the results this year. Polling day is November 5th, but in Georgia, voters are able to cast their ballots ahead of the time in many places, as well as by mail. Statewide officials say early voting had broken all records with more than 2.73 billion votes cast by Monday lunchtime, or more than 40% of active voters. Meanwhile, the United States rejects any Israeli efforts to starve Palestinians in Jabalia or anywhere else in the Gaza Strip, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield said on Tuesday.
This Council, the international community, and the entire UN must accept the reality that UNRWA Gaza is beyond redemption, beyond saving, beyond reform. We must turn a new page now.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Coordinator Winsland, for your sobering briefing.
In a letter on October 13th that it must take steps within 30 days to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza or face potential restrictions on U.S. military aid. Israel began a wide military offensive in northern Gaza earlier this month. Thomas-Greenfield said on October 16th that Washington was watching to ensure Israel's actions on the ground show it does not have a policy of starvation in the north. On Monday, the Palestinian Civil Emergency Service said around 100,000 people were marooned in Jabalia, Beit Lahia and Beit Hanun in northern Gaza without medical or food supplies. Reuters could not verify the number independently. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden says Ukraine should strike back. He was concerned by the presence of North Korean troops in the Kursk region in Russia.
That the weapons and capabilities that the United States and other international partners have provided to Ukraine are Ukrainian weapons and Ukrainian capabilities, and we've been very clear that Ukraine is able to employ those capabilities to defend their sovereign territory from threats that are either emanating from across the border or inside Ukrainian territory.
The Pentagon confirmed that some North Korean soldiers are in Kursk. It revealed that a couple of thousands more are heading there. Plumes of smoke were seen billowing out from the southern village of Kiam near the border with Israel on Tuesday. Fighting across the border erupted a year ago when Hezbollah began launching rockets at northern Israel at the start of the Gaza war, and has sharply escalated in recent weeks with Israel announcing a ground incursion. Israel's military said it continues to operate in southern Lebanon to dismantle Hezbollah infrastructure. Some 2,400 people have been killed in Lebanon, most of them in the last month, according to Lebanon's health ministry. Israeli authorities say 59 people have been killed in northern Israel and the occupied Golan Heights. A teenager accused of murdering 3 young girls in a knife attack in northern England in July has been further charged with a terrorism offense and the production of deadly poison ricin. Axel Rudabakuda 18, is accused of killing the 3 young girls aged between 6 and 9 at a Taylor Swift dance event in Southport. Murders which shocked the nation and provoked days of rioting across the country. Police say the incidents were still not being treated as terrorist-related, but that after searches of the home, that Ruda Bukana had now been charged with 2 further offenses: production of a deadly biological toxin, ricin, and the possession of an...
namely ricin, contrary to Section 1 of the Biological Weapons Act 1974, and possession of information, namely a PDF file entitled Military Studies in the Jihad Against the Tyrants, the Al-Qaeda Training Manual, likely to be useful to a person committing or preparing to commit an act of terrorism, contrary to Section 58 of the Terrorism Act 2000. Searches of Axelrod testing confirmed the substance as ricin. We have worked extensively with partners to establish that there was a low to very low risk to the public, and I want to make that reassurance clear today. I can also tell you that there was no ricin present at Hart Street. You may have seen speculation online that the police are deciding to keep information from the public. This is certainly not the case.
Ruda Kubana appeared in court in August after he was charged but has not yet entered a plea to 3 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder. Clashes erupted between Bolivian police and supporters of former President Evo Morales in the Soy region of Santa Cruz on Tuesday as law enforcement attempted to dismantle road blockades established by protesters. Police arrived early in the morning in Mariana, a town located 133 kilometers from Santa Cruz City, to clear the obstructed roads and re-establish control over the area. Officers utilized tear gas to disperse the crowd, and the protesters retaliated by throwing stones and objects. Demonstrators, largely comprised of Morales supporters, have maintained blockades in Santa Cruz for over a week. They demand the cessation of an ongoing investigation into Morales, who is accused of abusing a minor during his presidency. Argentine public employees began a 36-hour strike on Tuesday led by the Association of State Workers, ATE, to protest for intense weather is in the offing, spurred by climate change. And as the news is out, many thanks for watching. Charles Pius is my name. Good afternoon.